Hello everyone, my name is Siti Azila Atan and I'm from Defence Fitness Academy, National Defence University of Malaysia. So today I am going to talk to you about my study, match performance relation to physical capacity of under 13 to under 15 young soccer players. So physical performance in soccer has been evaluated mainly by using two approaches. So the first one refers to the field test, such as the yo-yo intermittent recovery test, level 1 and 2, repeated sprint ability, and or the agility test. And the second one is based on the assessment of physical performance during an actual game or match analysis, and it can be measured by distance covered at different intensities. So most recently, researchers are interested to find the association between the field test and match running performance, and several studies have reported significant correlations between the field test and the match running performance. So this is especially goes to the professional players. They found significant correlations between distance covered with the aerobic power, competitive ranking, quality of play, and also they found that the improvements in aerobic performance also may help to increase time spent in high intensity activities, number of sprints, touches of the ball, and also helps to improve during the recovery after the high intensity activities. Nevertheless, limited study has been investigated the physical capacity and match running performance in young soccer players. The assessment of match running performance should be included in the evaluation periods of young soccer players with the specific test and with the purpose that it may give some information that may help to improve on performance, and the coaches can provide a more specific training sessions for these players. To the best of our knowledge, there are no studies that have related the field test and match running performance in soccer players within the New Zealand. So the implementations of scientific evidence on possible relations between field test and match running performance would be of interest for soccer coaches at the time of selecting the test, and to explain the physical capacity of the players with greater specificity and transferability to actual match physical demands. So therefore, the aim of the study was to examine the relationship between physical match performance and intermittent exercise yo-yo intermittent recovery test level 1 in under 13 to under 15 age group soccer players. So prior to the testing, we were given the participants the consent form and health screening questionnaire just to make sure that they are completely volunteered to participate in the study, and also they are free from any injuries and healthy. So all participants provided assent and their parents gave their written informed consent. The data were collected on 85 outfield players competing within the Auckland Football Federation's Metropolitan League in New Zealand, and the participants were categorized into 3 age groups based on their age as of January 1st in the calendar year. So class as under 13, under 14, and under 15. Players train 2 times a week, with a competitive match taking place at the end of each week. So during the preliminary testing, we measured the height and body mass, and it was performed on separate occasions for the 3 age groups. And all the data were collected and took place on natural grass pitches. And each testing bout took place in the week before the match analysis was conducted and replaced the normal team training sessions. For the yo-yo intermittent recovery test level 1, the participants performed the test in the week before the competitive matches, and briefly participants repeated 2 times 20-meter shuttle runs back and forth between the start and finish line at progressively increasing speed and controlled by the audio blitz from the MP3 player. So the test was terminated when the participants failed to reach the starting line twice or unable to complete another shuttle at the detected speed. So the match analysis data were collected in 2 competitive matches for outfield players only. So all the games played by these age groups is in agreement with the rules outlined by the FIFA, and all age groups play 11-a-side games on a full-size pitch. So the match configuration varied between age groups, with the under 13 playing 60 minutes games, under 14 they play 70 minutes games, and the under 15 play 80 minutes game. The running distance in the match were collected by the GPS software. So before each game, participants don the GPS units between their shoulder blades in a custom-made tight-fitting vest, and all the data were downloaded into the Team AMS software, and this software permits the quantifications of total distance covered, the frequency, durations, and distance in match activities. After collecting all the data will be analyzed by using one-way ANOVA to evaluate group differences for the total distance covered, and the relationship between variables between the yo-yo intermittent recovery test level 1 and the total distance cover were assessed by using a Pearson's product movement correlations. So the results show the physical capacities were significantly greater in the older age groups, with the under 15 results is significantly higher compared to the under 14 and to the under 13. So similar trends was observed in the total distance in match play, where the older age group covered more distance than the under 14 and the under 13. The absolute total distance covered was significantly higher for under 15, which they cover about 6,600 meters, compared to the under 14 that covered 5,385 meters, and to under 13 that cover only 4,516 meters. So both results in yo-yo intermittent recovery test and total distance showed a similar trend. Also, I just want to highlight that the under 15 age group had longer mean playing time compared to the under 14 and to the under 13. Using the Pearson movement product correlations to investigate the relationship between yo-yo intermittent recovery level 1 and total distance and high intensity activity shows that the field test and the match running performance were not related, and there is no significant correlation in all age groups between the yo-yo intermittent recovery test in total distance and high intensities in U15, U14, and U13. So in this present study, it was found that the match running performance is affected by age, and generally the older players, they cover greater distance because they have longer playing time exposure, and it also may influenced by the maturity status, where the young players, they may have like lower aerobic capacity compared to the adult. So the lower aerobic capacity are limited by the physical growth or the maturation status and the body size. So therefore, it can be expected that the younger age groups cover less distance than the older age groups in this category. So for adults, there are relatively good correlations between aerobic power and distance cover, competitive ranking, and quality of play during the actual match play. But in this present study, the result produced the difference results say that in contrast that there is no correlation between the field test and match running performance. Therefore, it was suggested that young players may not need to have an extraordinary capacity within any of the areas of physical performance, but must possess a reasonably high level within all the areas. And also the aerobic capacity will increase with age and improvements after maturations, and it will be more dependent on the training effects. And that's bring me to the end of my presentation today. Thank you for listening, and I hope that everyone is safe and take care of ourselves and family. Okay, thank you very much.